Today I will be demonstrating how to prepare a delicious nopal salad. For those of you who don't know what a nopal is, it is a cactus originally from Mexico. It is used to prepare many traditional Mexican dishes. And I chose this dish because not only do I come from a Mexican family, but I also come from a diabetic family. So this dish is mostly for diabetic people. It's for everyone, but it is also very helpful for diabetic patients. To begin with, we're going to gather all of our ingredients and set them out on the table so we can get more organized. We're going to have 2 avocados, 2 bunches of fresh cilantro, 1 can of serrano jalapenos. This brand is very much liked by my grandmother. 1 large white onion, baking soda, some salt to taste, some fresh Mexican cheese, also known as queso fresco, and the most important ingredient of all, 6 pounds of Mexican nopales with the spines, because we are doing this from scratch. And I forgot to include in the picture 2 large tomatoes and 5 radishes. To properly prepare a nopal, you have to make sure you get all the spines off, and be careful with those spines because they can get in your fingers. Make sure the nopal looks as clean as possible, kind of like this, so that way it can be edible. You definitely don't want to be eating any spines. When cleaning a nopal, make sure you use a knife to slice them off carefully. Kind of go over the surface on both sides, front and back. You're gonna cut the bottom portion of it. That's the hard part. And then you're gonna cut around the nopal so you can remove those surrounding spines. And when you do this, try to be very, very careful, because they can get under your nails if you're not careful enough. So they can look clean, just like this. The next step is to gather all of your clean nopales, and then we are going to slice them. We are going to slice them into smaller pieces where they can fit into a salad or whatever you're going to prepare them in. There's different methods of cutting them. You can cut them into long pieces, or you can cut them into even smaller pieces, kind of like diced, just like the demonstration right now. So you can stack them all together to make them into smaller pieces. As you can see, my grandmother does an amazing job at cutting nopales. Next, we're going to turn the heat on the stove to medium-high and get a large pot and pour in 2.5 cups of water, and we're going to let it boil. And then we can start adding ingredients. Once your water is boiling, you want to make sure it is boiling first. Then we're going to start adding ingredients. The first ingredient that we're going to add is baking soda. We're going to add 1.5 tablespoons of baking soda. As you can recall from food science, vegetables tend to lose their color when exposed to heat. Therefore, the baking soda can help the nopales keep their green color. It actually makes it more greener, so that way they won't come out brown looking, ugly looking, and they can look nice and green, bright green. Next, you're going to add all of your nopales into the pot. You may think at the beginning that you need to add additional water to the pot so that it can get absorbed more by the nopales. However, no water needs to be added. You will see throughout the process that the nopales will rise and they will get slimy. This is normal. And as more and more slime is created, you will have to eventually remove that slime. As you can see, it gets very, very slimy. So all you simply have to do is just get a colander and remove the pot from the heat to just drain it out. Throughout the cooking process, you want to make sure your nopales are cooking properly. Therefore, you will have to taste every now and then. And if you see that your nopal tastes a little bit hard and rough, that means it still needs more heating. If it tastes soft, then it is good to go. Now, you don't want to overcook, and then one way that you can find out that it's overcooking is by seeing that it is shrinking or changing colors even though you've added the baking soda. And it looks like these nopales are ready to be taken off the stove. Once you take them off the stove, get some cold water and just rinse them out to look like this. Next, we're gonna add in our additional fresh vegetables, which include the white onions, the radishes, the serrano peppers, the tomatoes, the avocado, the queso fresco, and of course some salt to taste. We're gonna mix it all together and make it look pretty. And that was the nopales salad for everyone. I hope you enjoy this dish as much as I do. I want to give special thanks to my grandmother, who I love with all my heart, and I wouldn't be here without her. Thank you all for listening.